We asked our audience, how do you insure your broad market stock portfolio against a stock sell-off event greater than 8% for the calendar year? 5% answered, you can't, I just pray it doesn't happen. 8% answered, buy bonds. 18% answered, I don't know. And 69% answered, construct a portfolio that takes advantage of market sell-offs. What we're going to talk about in this video is the concept of tail risk. And Investopedia defines tail risk as the chance of a loss occurring due to a rare event as predicted by a probability distribution. And in very common terms, we're talking about tail risk. What we're looking at is an event that often has not been forecasted, or that is a surprise that causes a massive sell-off in the market. Now, you're going to hear the term black swan event. These are marketing terms that people have created to kind of create a very broad and ambiguous definition around what we're talking about. But when we're talking about tail risk, what we're looking at is a person's portfolio. And if they lose a certain amount of their portfolio based on this particular rare event, we want to create protection against that particular risk parameter. Now, you want to understand something. Every market, every one, there's a chance that that market could essentially free fall one day for whatever reason. It could be a nuclear war. Aliens could come out of the sky. Anything can happen. They can find out that the president really is a reptilian alien. Anything can happen. The question is, do you want to protect yourself against that particular risk? Now, this is how the normal person should look at it. You could have safe driver's discount on your insurance, which means that what? You normally drive very safely. You haven't gotten in an accident in years, so they give you a safe driver's discount. However, there is still a chance that you can get into an accident. Therefore, you will carry insurance. Now, you got to carry insurance because of the law, but in my opinion, it would make sense to carry insurance for protection against an accident that could be your fault. And even if it's not your fault, you still have the insurance policy to help pay your particular bills, especially medical. Even if you're a safe driver, you understand that something can happen on the road outside of my control that can be detrimental to me. And therefore, I'm going to insure myself against this particular risk, even if it's a very, very small percentage that it can happen. Now, what are you doing if it doesn't happen? You're just paying for the insurance. But you're not paying for the insurance because you need it to happen. You're paying for the insurance to where if it does happen, you get compensation for it. And you believe the compensation that you're going to get is going to be greater than the payments that you're making to the insurance company. Similar to home insurance, similar to business insurance, this is the concept of insurance. And so when we're looking at what we call tail risk, we've created a whole industry based around specific people in the market wanting to protect their investments against a downturn or a loss of their portfolio by paying insurance against that. And normally that insurance is going to be created with derivative contracts or what we call options contracts. You have companies like Universal, and they're very well known in the tail risk space, but you have other companies that do similar things to what Universal does. But the majority of them are using some type of put contract or derivative contract to protect their clients' portfolios against the downside of the market. And what a client would normally do is take a certain percentage of their overall portfolio and allocate that to a tail risk vehicle. Okay? And they're willing to pay that out the same way a person will pay car insurance year after year. But because they're a safe driver, the risk of them getting into an accident can be very low, but there still is a risk of getting into an accident. And they want to be compensated just in case that accident happens. And they believe the compensation is going to be greater than what they're paying into the insurance policy. The average person investing has no protection against the downside of the market. In fact, they're not even aware it takes place. What they're told to do is just to continue to dollar cost average into the market, right? However, when you get inside different environments, there's a conversation based around you can pay an insurance policy, and that's going to be just a very broad term to kind of explain what we're talking about, to where if the market does sell off, you can be compensated for that particular sell-off, and then you can take that liquidity and then you can go back into the market once the market starts to rebound up. And this can be very beneficial to you. We saw this in 2020 during the pandemic, but we also saw this in 2022, where we had a very long sustained market sell-off. I think the S&P was down 15 to 18% over the course of the year. Now, many people that were just long funds, where all they can do is just continue to allocate more capital to the market, they can't make any money in that kind of environment because their particular fund, all they can do is buy long. But what a lot of these tail risk specialists go after, they go after what we call private money. And private money, they have the ability to buy the downside protection, and they're willing to pay for the insurance. So I think this is a very interesting space. I want to really encourage you to look more into it. But what I want to encourage you to do is try to avoid a lot of the marketing stuff and try to get a little bit deeper into what it actually means, because these people are not doing anything really complicated. It's just they know that the majority of people don't understand derivatives markets, and so they sell their understanding of the market to high net worth individuals. Hope you got some value from it. Talk to you later.